Hello, happy March, and welcome to a new monthly vlog. I am here on my roof today because I want to tell you all about a new project that I'm super excited to start today. So as you guys know, Ryan and I recently moved and we have now a beautiful roof space, which to me is especially exciting because I've actually never had an outdoor space all to myself before, and I really want to make the most of this space. So I'm going to teach myself the basics of gardening, and I'm going to start a tiny little dye garden here on my roof. Believe it or not, I've never gardened ever in my life. These roof conditions are also really harsh, so I don't really know if I'm necessarily setting myself up for success in the first place. This roof has literally no shade. It is full sun all day, every day. And the wind up here is also really intense. So what I'm actually able to plant is really limited. I've got to look for things that can handle a lot of heat and are pretty hardy. And thankfully, some dye plants seem to fall into that category. So we're gonna give it a go this season. I'm keeping my expectations reasonable. I'm just giving this a go. If I grow some things, wonderful. If I don't, it's just a part of a learning experience and I'll do better next season. So yeah, let's head back inside and I'll show you what I have in mind. All right, so we're in my kitchen now and let me show you what we're working with. So I have some seed starting potting mix. I have some seed starting trays, some popsicle sticks for labeling, a spray bottle of water, and then my seeds, which have been soaking overnight. So what started this whole natural dye garden idea was my desire to grow my own indigo. Indigo is used for a beautiful blue dye, and I had some experiences playing with the dye when I was visiting my friends in San Diego, and I would just love to see this process through completely from scratch. And I feel like this is as from scratch as you could possibly get. Supposedly this plant is pretty hardy, it likes a lot of sun, and it doesn't mind some wind. We'll see if that's true. And yeah, hopefully we'll get some beautiful indigo blue. I'm also going to be planting madder, which is a root that is used for natural dye, and it creates beautiful, bright, deep, rich reds. The only thing about madder is that the plant has to mature for 2 to 3 years before you can actually use it for dyeing. So I'm going to start it now, hope I have some success, and then in 2 to 3 years, we'll hopefully get some color out of it. It's actually funny, even just soaking the seeds in water already produced some red color. So that makes me excited. It gives me hope, and we'll see how it goes. So these are my 2 dye garden items, and I also have a couple kind of wild cards that I'll tell you about. My friend gave me a cotton ball that was grown locally here in New Jersey, and it was filled with these cotton seeds. I had to literally pick them out of the cotton fibers, and it was quite a task, but also very satisfying. One cotton ball produced so many seeds, and I thought it might be fun to try to see if it'll do well on my roof. I have a little fantasy of even if I just get a little bit of fiber, just like a little pinch of it, dyeing it with some of these dyes would be such an exciting experience if it all works out. So when I was researching things that might potentially survive in my harsh roof climate, one of the things that I saw suggested a lot for high heat, harsh conditions is hot peppers. I'm not much of a spicy food person. I actually have absolutely no spice tolerance whatsoever, but I do really like jalapeno pepper jams. So I want to grow this with the intention of making my own pepper jam. All around me in New Jersey are tons and tons of fruit farms, and I found some that specialize in peaches, and I thought it would be fun to go to a peach farm, pick a bunch of peaches, grow my own jalapenos, and try to make my own peach jalapeno jam. I know that might be a little bit ridiculous and a little bit too ambitious, but I figured why not try? Why not give it a go? Aim high and whatever happens, happens. So yeah, I also picked a purple variety just because supposedly they're really beautiful, and hopefully I'll get some peppers. Last but not least, some birds of paradise. These have kind of a story to them. So Ryan actually gifted me these seeds for our first Valentine's Day celebration together, which I think was in 2017. Birds of paradise are my all-time favorite flowers, and so he wanted to give me a bouquet of them for Valentine's Day as a surprise. But it turns out, because they're tropical and they're huge, the bouquets are really expensive, so he got me these seeds as the next best thing, as close as he could get. And I still think that is just the funniest and the sweetest thing ever. Like I said, I haven't really lived in a situation where I can actually garden before, so I'm gonna give these a try now. I'm not really sure if seeds like this would go bad. They've definitely been sitting in a cupboard for a really long time, but we'll see how it turns out. Also, look at these seeds. They have tiny little orange afros, and I just think that is the funniest thing. So yeah, here's my lineup. I know it's a pretty ridiculous and eclectic collection of plants, but it also gives me a chance to try out different kinds of things on my roof to see okay, if anything does survive, like what does the best and what can I kind of like explore further in the future? I don't know if that makes any sense, but hopefully this will teach me a lot. Let's get to it. Good morning, it's March 3rd and I'm starting to see the first signs of life. These are my indigo and that's a cotton. And that is really, really exciting.
My friend Riley recently got a beautiful secondhand table loom, and we met up to make her a warp and to thread her loom. The day before, she had sent me a picture of some of her gorgeous hand-spun yarn that she wanted to use as weft, so I brought a whole bunch of silk yarns for her to pick from to design her first ever warp. And then we got to work, and we had a wonderful day.
Reviving.
Oh yeah.
Woo! Woo! Woo!
You're a weaver now! Yay! Philly yarn crawl! Woo! We met up again later that week for the Philadelphia yarn crawl, and look at her scarf! Beautiful! And I wore my black glittery handwoven jacket that I finished recently. And then we spent the day trying to visit as many yarn stores as we possibly could. Our first stop was Weaver House, which was the store that I was definitely the most excited to visit because they were the only ones in the yarn crawl that were solely dedicated to weaving. And as you can imagine, I totally loved this place. I ended up getting only a few things on this whole yarn crawl adventure, most of which came from this stop. I got this beautiful white linen yarn, as well as some sari silk ribbon yarn, both of which will be perfect for dyeing. And I also got this cute little weaver sticker. We then worked our way northward and visited as many shops as we possibly could before the end of the day, and we had so much fun visiting each one. I love yarn stores. I know that's like a super obvious thing to say, but to me, these yarn stores are so much more than just like retail spaces. And doing this yarn crawl isn't just about the shopping. It's all about connecting with like-minded people, learning about cool classes and events in a neighboring state, observing how people run their businesses, and then of course discovering and very intentionally collecting new supplies that I can use in my work. It's just overall a really fun, inspiring, and joyful time. And of course, going with a friend makes it so much more fun. I ended up making one more purchase during the crawl from a shop called Wild Hand. They were selling fiber from Kiara Wiggins, another friend that I've met through these kind of yarny events. So of course I wanted to support her, and I got this neon yellow blend of BFL wool and mohair that is just so bright and so fun. Overall, it was a wonderful trip. Hello, it's been exactly a week since I started my seeds, so I thought I'd give you a little bit of an update. So this right here is obviously the elephant in the room. That's a little cotton seedling that for some reason just like shot up into the sky. I have absolutely no idea why. Hopefully some of the other ones are gonna start popping up soon. Next to that, I have my indigo, where I guess I may have planted too many seeds like in this one cell, but they all seem to be doing all right. And then I also have some growth in most of the other cells too, which is really exciting. Back there, I have my pepper plant. I have growth in I think 4 of the 6 cells, also super exciting. Over here for my bird's paradise and my madder, unfortunately there's nothing popping up yet, but I'm still holding on. They've got plenty of time, so we'll see if something shows up. I do have quite a bit of algae showing up here, unfortunately. I think that's totally my fault from like overwatering things in the beginning, so I've just been like giving it all some time with a little fan to air things out just for like a couple minutes a day. And yeah, that's my update. Hello, I'm in the town of Cranford and I'm here for a really exciting event. So the local yard store decided to like rent out the local movie theater and they're gonna be showing a film, and while it's going on, we're gonna keep the lights on so we can work on our craft projects at the same time. I just think that's the coolest thing. So some of my friends and I are grabbing dinner beforehand and then we're gonna head to the theater. Let's go. This month, I also visited my parents who recently moved to New Jersey, and I worked on a project for the house with my dad. And we first went to the craft store to source our supplies. And then I taught him how to use a sewing machine. Dad had bought a ton of these sheer green curtains to match their newly green painted living room, but they needed to be altered just a bit before we could actually hang them. So I showed him how to use the machine, and then I helped him finish a whole bunch of the curtains.
Helping her father, and father is singing. Sedelo sam za maszyną, szilo sam. Pitali me oficiri, czy ja sam. Nie pitajte oficiri, czy ja sam. Nosite me w waszej kuci, wasza sam. I love her.
Why, Delilah? So, before I come to break down the door, forgive me, Delilah, I just couldn't take anymore. In exchange for my sewing efforts, Dad helped me start my little rooftop garden. 'Cause I'm just a raised bed dirtbag baby. We got a whole bunch of dirt and 2 raised beds, which we built back at our place.
planter boxes are built and now it's time to stain them. Okay, it's officially been 2 weeks since my first planting date, so I just wanted to give you a little update on everybody and everything. So let's first start with the cotton. So this guy, who's now in his own pot, is still going really strong. It's developed its 2 like real leaves, and I'm so happy with how that's going. I also had some more cottons come up. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, which is just so exciting. These are my peppers. Also going strong. I have quite a lot of seedlings. And it's kind of cool that these have like a little bit of purple in their leaves. I'm assuming that's because they're these like purple jalapenos, but I don't know exactly. Maybe all jalapenos do that. Then there's my indigo, which is growing beautifully. I have some really big guys here that seem to be doing really well. For my madder, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. That are showing signs of life, which again, so exciting. So that's everybody, and I'll check in with you next time there's another gardening update. Hello, I'm currently lugging my wheel over to the Williams Center, which is this really cool place in New Jersey. My friend Riley, who you met earlier on in this video, is hosting a monthly fiber group meetup. So brought my wheel and we're gonna go have a lovely evening.
For my project for the evening, I brought the fiber that I dyed with madder roots. If you want to see my video all about this project, I'll share it in this video's description. I also joined the Essex Spinners for this month's meetup, which was held at the Kingsland Manor, a colonial home from the 1790s that had been converted into a living museum. And it was such a treat to hang out and spin in such a charming location. One of my friends brought an absolutely massive bag of gorgeous deep brown alpaca fiber to share with the group, and of course I had to take some home with me.
Good morning! I have a really exciting and really jam-packed day planned for the day. First, we're heading over to the Kenilworth Library where we're going to be celebrating Maker Day with like a big community crafting event that I'm helping out with. So yeah, let's go have a beautiful day.
I had a lot of fun helping out, chatting with creative people about creative things, and leading some weaving demos. And I even learned some paper crafting techniques, and I made this little card.
That event was such a joy. I always love opportunities to like introduce people to the world of weaving and the world of crafting, and this was just like perfect for that. And I also got to learn some new stuff too, which was really fun. Anyway, we're now off to destination number 2 of the day, and that is a local quilt show. So let's go.
This show took place at the Willow Grove Presbyterian Church in Scotch Plains and was put on by the Harvest Quilters of Central New Jersey. This was their 41st annual quilt show, and it was a massive show. I only really recorded a couple rooms, but there were hundreds of quilts on display in all shapes, sizes, styles, and techniques, and it was a joy. They even had a little secondhand fabric sale, and of course, I found a tiny piece of Halloween fabric to take home with me for only $1.
Hello again, we just finished up at the quilt show and that was just such a joy. I just love seeing creative people doing amazing things. Also, I went to this coffee shop right next door to the church and they were like, do you want a free Shamrock Pop-Tart? We have a bunch of extras. And I was like, yeah, totally. It's delicious and homemade. Anyway, I have one more destination for the day, and that's my friend Leah's house, where she is currently trying to get rid of a lot of gardening stuff. And as you guys have seen in this vlog, I'm like in the process of trying to set up my little rooftop garden. So this is a great opportunity for me to get some supplies. So let's go. Hello, it's now the end of this absolutely crazy month of March, and I figured I'd wrap up this video with a little plant update. So it's been pretty much exactly 1 month since I started growing all these little guys, and things are definitely a bit chaotic. So let me pull things out and show you everything one by one. So these are my 7 little cotton plants, and they grew so big and tall that they were all like crashing into each other and cramming each other. So I separated them out into these little pots. I have a couple of them supported with these just like little dowel skewer things just because they kept falling over, but otherwise they seem to be doing really well. Just for context, this is just a standard 12-inch ruler and we've got some height. I'm really excited about these. I think 7 plants is definitely more than enough that I have space for, so I might end up giving a few of these away to my friends, but definitely gonna plant as much of these as I can and hopefully get a little cotton harvest later on. These are my madder plants, and as you can see, I had 3 grow up really big and tall almost immediately, and then I have this little 6 cell that is filled with 1 plant per cell. So I've got a pretty good number of madder plants going here. For these, I also had to offer them just a little bit of support with these dowels because they are completely flopping over, like they want to be fully sideways, and this seems to be working out and helping them for now. But yeah, I have 9 madder plants, and I'm really excited about that. Here are my purple jalapeno plants, and as you can see, some of them are definitely doing better than others. I have 11 total seedlings in this 6 cell, and some are short and bushy, some are tall and lanky, and I'm just gonna see how they turn out. And here are my indigo seedlings. So I ended up having a whole bunch of them pop up. These 3 6 cells are full, so I have 18 little seedlings, so that's definitely more than I can handle, so I'm definitely gonna be giving some of these to my friends once I start planting. I'm really excited about these. These are definitely the crop that I'm the most stoked about this season, so having this much success early on is definitely exciting, and I'm hoping I can keep that going. So yeah, that's the start of my natural dye garden, and I am honestly thrilled with how this is going so far. I don't want to get too excited yet because I still have to harden these guys off and hope that they can actually survive up there on my roof. But for now, I am so excited. I can't wait to see if I actually get any kind of harvest whatsoever out of these guys, and like literally anything I get, even if it's just 1 cotton ball, I will be the happiest person in the world. So yeah, crossing my fingers for continued success. Anyway, that pretty much wraps up my March vlog. Like I said, this vlog was definitely crazy and just jam-packed with activities, and hopefully it was fun to tag along and be a part of that. If you want to stick around and see some more of my monthly vlogs and some more of my textile adventures and my gardening adventures, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video. Bye!